It was not long after Cooley's failure and Lokesh's comment on such high expectations from him that he was trolled relentlessly. And adding fuel to fire was the rumor that Loki is abandoning KT2 and LCU. And then, making his acting debut, people became furious and started manifesting his failure. But little did they know, Loki will win them over with his performance. And adding the cherry on top, Anirudh's god level OST also helped in what could be the best surprise from the Tamil industry in 2026. DC is a loosely based adaptation of Sarat Chandra Chattopadhyay's Devdas. They have reimagined it and interpreted it in their own way. I should not reveal much as the makers have kept a lot of exposition under wrap. All I can say it is a cat and mouse chase between a gang and police. How along the journey they face loss, love, rage, betrayal forms the storyline. Now, my general opinion about DC, The Bloody Valentine. This film really surprised me. It may not be the best film of 2026 or it will be remembered for years, but I really enjoyed the experience. So, I'm going to rave about the film and talk about its problems at the end. Lokesh Kanagaraj. To be honest, I thought he would falter and I dwelled too much time in it. Then I noticed that he's performing so well. He had a very laid back charm about him. No faltu ka aura farming. The stoic demeanor worked as it was required for this role. He was also too good in the hand to hand combat at the very end. Lokesh as a director is so revered that people just want him to direct. As it is not the first time a director has turned into acting, but a revered director like Lokesh in an action drama was something very unheard of in a commercial film. With the deserving success of DC, Loki has turned a new page in his life. He was also very well supported by Avinash as Kitty, Jawahar as Karupan, but his chemistry with Sanjana Krishnamurti was brief but had a very lasting impression. Like Parvati was the calm that Das had been searching for in his chaotic life. I also have to mention Wamiqa Gabbi as I loved her performance. But what really stood out for me would be her entry scene. Wamika, who has these big expressive eyes, but here, in sharp contrast, she had no spark. Her eyes were completely expressionless, as if something within her has been dead for so many years. And let me tell you, it was perfect. It was exactly what the character demanded, as she was playing a prostitute who had no choice but to work for them. And she nailed it with her demeanor, with her attitude. It all showed her helplessness. Anirudh's music. First of all, I feel there has to be a separate video altogether, as Anirudh music is the film's biggest selling point. This film's OST has to be one of the best in recent times. For me, it is definitely in my top 3 OST. After KGF 2 and Vikram's album, I seriously feel Anirudh should be given some profit margins, as people will literally storm into theaters just for its music. As Hindol from Chalachitra Talks said, this will be a concert, and he was not lying. At first, everyone thought Raga of Violence is so iconic that it will be overused here. But let me tell you, it was only used twice and perfectly, as it enhanced and elevated the action choreography, especially in the interval block. And towards the end, there is a music piece which slowly peaks, as if it mirrors the character's blood boiling. Such was the command of Anirudh. And it was not all about elevation. He has so much to offer. For example, there is a wedding instrument melody, and the action is based on it. Just imagine the juxtaposition of the happy melody with the grim situation. It fits like a glove. All I can say, you have to check the entire album to appreciate it, and still you will feel it deserves more. Direction. Arun Matheswaran has checked a lot of boxes in this film. He is able to adapt Devdas in his own way, but one particular aspect I want to appreciate, that is the portrayal of Wamika Gappi's character. We have seen this before. How woman's body has been sexualized and objectified very crassly. And here, even though Vamika's character is a prostitute, there were no sleazy angles or deep plunging neckline. He portrayed her character with dignity. In fact, she beautifully symbolized her character with a plastic rose and even Van Gogh's Starry Night painting on the background, showing her helplessness in the place she was forced to work. The one thing I would like to point out is the action choreography. The interval was the best one, then the marriage scene. But the other two, even though peaked because of the music for sure, but the action choreography lacked a bit. It was more about the payoff than the choreography, in my general opinion. Overall, it is such an enjoyable experience in the theater, be it the unexpected performance of Lokesh winning over his fan again, or Anirudh's music going Super Saiyan mode. This one will surprise you. Thank you for watching this video. Do share what you thought about it.